Hey, I'm Jeff Wellanius. I'm out here in Indianapolis. I'm a retired firefighter now, which is fun to say. I'm excited to be part of this today, and I'm excited to tell you my story. So I started my real estate journey in 2005. I had a construction background. My grandparents and my parents, they were into real estate, small multifamily, small single family, nothing huge. So I started flipping houses in 2005, construction background. My schedule as a firefighter allowed me to have 2 days off. So I'd spend those 2 days over pulling cat urine carpet out of houses and putting these things back together. So that was really my intro into real estate. Fortunately, as we progressed along in 2006, I got rear-ended. You know, you look back on life and think, wow, getting rear-ended was one of the best things that ever happened because I sat out as the crash occurred. Picked up in 2012, flipping houses again, ramped up about 10 to 15 a year in the Portland metro area. And from there, I found BiggerPockets. That was my research on turnkey and trying to find, you know, the West Coast is expensive. So trying to find those rental properties that really made sense financially. And so through BiggerPockets, I found Jay Heinrichs. You may have heard of him. He's the godfather of BiggerPockets, I believe. He said, well, why don't you invest alongside of me? Why don't you create a fund with your firefighter group? And so I thought, well, yeah, I'm dumb enough to try anything once, so let's give it a shot. So I set up a 506B fund. And from there it progressed to Indianapolis, where I had a goal. I was actually on the BiggerPockets podcast, 241, you want to check it out. I had this goal to build up to 150 rentals that year, and I hit it, and then I lost them all. So in 2008, I moved out to Indianapolis here, kind of picked up the pieces, but we'll get back to that later. Today we're in this mobile home park. I closed on this in November. This is a value add park, and I kind of want to show you what I've pivoted to in a couple different aspects of my real estate career here. So let's get into that. This is a 58 space park that we closed in November. Purchase price was $500,000. We anticipate putting in about $100,000 in repairs, and mainly that's going to infrastructure. So making sure the lots are able to accept the new homes that we're bringing in, making sure that we have some water leaks in here. So, and then billing back the residents for water. So we put individual water meters on each one of these homes, and that'll save about $3,000 a month. So NOI, that's a big boost to our bottom line on this park. This will be about a 2-year turnaround timeline. We've got a lot of vacant spaces to infill. This is a heavy value add property. So we'll infill all these spaces, we'll fill up this park. The demand is through the roof out here and for affordable housing and across the nation, really. So that's the process here with this park. Like I said, after that 2-year period at a 7.5 cap, we're anticipating the value of this park about $1.5 million. So a nice increase on our bottom line, and for only putting $100,000 in. One of the nice pieces about mobile home parks is we bring in these homes, we sell them on lease to own terms to the new owners, to the new residents. The beautiful thing about that is I can really accurately predict my expenses. My role as park owner is to make sure they have a safe, affordable community to live in. So we're very adamant about keeping these parks clean, keeping them safe. We don't put up with any riffraff. So anyway, that's kind of the overview of this park. I'm excited about it. This is gonna be a great park when it's all wrapped up and finished. So I alluded earlier to losing 150 doors, so I wanted to touch on that a little bit. So built up to 150 doors, that was my goal for that year, and I got there. And unfortunately, when I moved out to Indianapolis, kind of helped oversee that and get things kind of caught up. Uncovered a bunch of fraud. So the business partner was stealing rehab money and a whole bunch of other things that went on there. So I had to go from having all these rental properties to now downsizing and getting rid of all of them because I had all my investors involved. And the hardest part about that was these were investors, these were firefighter coworkers of mine. They didn't invest in Indianapolis, they invested in me. It was never a point where I thought, well, sorry, you guys lost your money. That's not the way that I'm gonna go here. It's, hey, I'm gonna make this right. I'm gonna make up the losses, even though I didn't take the money. We're gonna make that right and make up the losses. So I'm doing that over time, getting everybody paid back. But it provided a great opportunity to pivot. All right, so I've told you about some of the losses I've taken. We're now here in this mobile home park that I've shown you and shown you some of the numbers behind that. I've talked about some of the other successes I've had in real estate and how I've pivoted. So 16 years in real estate, I wanted to pass on a couple nuggets here. So one of them is, despite what our friend Alex Felice tells you, real estate is not easy. There's times when you get throat punched, right? So you got to get off the mat. Don't quit, keep going. So you're gonna find hard times, and hopefully it's not as hard as I went through. Hopefully you don't have that journey, but keep going. Second, trust but verify, right? I made some huge mistakes by trusting this counterpart, this business partner, and that's easy to do when you're 1,000 miles away. So trust but verify. And third, and this is my favorite, and this goes back to my firefighter days, is the ride along. So as new firefighters, we would do a ride along, and we'd go ride along for the day with the fire company and hang out at the station and see what the day-to-day life looked like to be a firefighter. Is this something I want to do? Same thing holds true with real estate. So find those BiggerPockets Pro members, find those resources in your local town that are doing real estate, that they're where you want to be, and ask to ride along and be annoying. It's okay to be annoying. And keep going. I get people that ask me all the time about advice and can I learn from you? Absolutely you can. People are happy to help out. Now the caveat to that is don't expect somebody to pull you along, right? People that have spent a lot of time in this business, they're not gonna pull anybody along. Now, you need to be that kind of dog on a leash. You pull them along. You're constantly asking, can I come hang out? Can I make a coffee? Can I learn from you? Do all the little things. That's the ride along, the real estate ride along. I'm Jeff Wellanius, 16 years in real estate, and you could have all this.